And good morning, golfing world. It's TGD Today Roundtable with HR3 and George Honeycutt, and our other two compadres have decided to skip today.
Yeah, I guess had something better to do.
Professor's got another treatment yesterday, so of course we wish him the best. Again, battling cancer, so he said he had another chemo treatment. It would just depend on how well he felt this morning, whether he'd be in or not. And Al, I don't know, he's got somebody working at his house. You don't think that's his wife, Chris, do you?
Yeah, I don't know. I just know I had to drop Jack off at my buddy Arnett Vereen's house so he could have a play date with their lab.
A play date?
Yeah, they both already jumped in the swimming pool and whatever else, and we've got people at the house doing a deep clean. That was what Heather wanted for Mother's Day. So
deep clean.
So the house will be clean.
Versus a clean, you get a deep clean.
Oh yeah, it's 90 to nothing, which is fine. It means I don't have to move furniture and get down on my hands and knees in the corners and clean stuff. So, it's good.
That's the difference between a deep clean and a regular clean. They get in the corners.
They do the blinds, the windowsills, whatever.
I got to get that.
I'm telling you,
I got to get that.
It's for real.
For real. You'll have to give me their number.
We can handle that.
All right, Professor, we miss you. Al, we miss you. So HR3 and George Honeycutt here. Got Jeff behind the glass. HR, first off, you're going to be gone next week, aren't you?
It looks that way. I've got some stuff that I've been practicing, and things are coming along pretty good. Got to play Shoal Creek the other day. It was kind of fun. Mm-hmm. Hadn't putted on greens that fast in a long time. So, yeah.
And they were slow probably in tournament standards.
Not really. They were about 14 and a half.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making I'm being sarcastic.
It was impressive. First time I'd played there, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
If I leave, I'll leave a week from Sunday, so I'll be around next week.
Okay, good.
So head out to Iowa. But
got another Champions Tour event coming up. So
yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, they're busy this weekend.
At the Tradition in Birmingham.
Tradition in Birmingham, that's right across the mountain from where you were. Yep. So they're busy. It's a busy weekend. I mean, we've got the K Club being spotlighted this week just outside of Dublin. Of course, the Irish Open, and being hosted by Rory McIlroy's Foundation. So that'll be a lot of fun to follow and watch. The PGA Tour is out in Dallas, and they're already under rain delay. So
and it's all over the Southeast too. It's not. It's coming across Texas, and it's coming here this weekend.
Yeah.
So all the bikers that are here this weekend, they're going to get their slickers out.
And speaking of East Coast here, up in Greer, South Carolina, they've got Web.com Tour, which is their celebrity pro-am event, the BMW.
Up at Thornblade.
Thornblade and a couple other golf courses. And, that's a big thing for them. That's one of their larger moneymakers for the year, and well attended. It's a great weekend to go up and spend time in the hills.
It is, and they do a fantastic job. I know Jay Haas has a little bit to do with helping with that as well, and it's I've gone up there, with Kevin Kisner and Scott Brown and them back in the day, and it's amazing the people that come out to watch that. They come out to watch the pros, and then also obviously to see the celebrities. So
and there's you wouldn't know it, but although they're not right on top of one another much like it is down here at the beach. But there's a ton of golf courses up there.
Oh, yes.
And you can go up and play golf in the morning and then go watch the tournament in the afternoon, and then wonderful restaurants at all the different facilities up there. Mm-hmm. And, you got Lake Keowee. You got the other areas up there that are, Hickory and all that. You got Biltmore at Asheville. So there's all kind of entertainment that's just within an hour of where you are.
Exactly.
So a great place. And then also on the East Coast up in Virginia is the Kings Mill. The LPGA is playing. So, it's a busy, busy week.
It is. A lot of golf going on. And, luckily for the girls, they're letting them go play at Kings Mill when the weather's not so bad.
Yeah.
We used to have to play it in July, and I'm going to tell you what, that's one hot place.
Sure it is. But, again, they're going to deal with the rain as it comes over on the East Coast and start moving up. And so for them, today they're dealing with a little bit cooler temperatures and overcast, and then the rain's going to come in over the weekend. So,
well, we need to throw out a congratulations, George. Our our good friend Colt Ford was inducted into the Athens Sports Hall of Fame this past week.
Congrats, Colt.
And very, very happy for him.
Yeah.
Great honor to have your hometown put you in their Hall of Fame.
Good deal. How is Alan doing?
Alan's doing good. He had both hips replaced.
We're talking about Alan Dole,
Alan
folks.
Dole played in his Pro-Am this past Monday for the first tee in Troup County, and played at the Fields, and he's doing good. He's doing real good. He played out at the Legends out in Branson. That's really kind of the only thing he plays on the Champions Tour now.
Yeah,
but he's just doing his thing around LaGrange where he plays golf and harasses people and robs them blind
and sits at the Waffle House.
Oh yeah.
So
he's doing good. We had a lot of fun. It was great to see him. I mean, he couldn't believe I drove all the way down there that far to come help him out. But,
sure, absolutely.
I
volunteered, but he didn't give me the invite.
They were full, but it was just great. Like he said, man, it's just been too long. He said, great to see you. And we used to have some great battles and really good friendship from Pro-Ams and stuff playing with Daddy. So it was a lot of fun to catch up with he and James Mason, Paul Claxton, Freddie Holton, and some others. So it's good.
Good, great. I tell you, let's. We're going to kind of date the show. We've done that a couple times already, talking about the different tournaments. But this morning, it was announced and released as far as an information from the Golf Channel, from Sky Golf, and then now the RNA has put out an official statement. But Muirfield this morning, I guess they had a general election or a general vote. And on the ballot was the question, should we allow women membership at Muirfield? And which, of course, is known as the, founding club for the RNA. It's one of the oldest clubs in the world, dating back to the 1700s.
Tons of history. Tons of it.
They're the largest number of events for the quote-unquote Open Championship, or the British Open as we refer to it here. But the Open Championship has been held there the most of any course. And they come to this vote today, and they needed a 64% or better majority to approve it.
2/3 approval.
Right. And it was turned down.
Well, you had 60 – what did they say? There were 63% voted yes, and 67%, something like that, voted yes, and 23% voted no. And so the majority wanted women to be members, but it wasn't 2/3, therefore it didn't pass. And what they were saying and stuff that we were reading and looking at online is,
so they were a couple of votes shy.
Yeah. And the thing is, the older members there, they don't care. So it's like we talked about with the millennials and all that.
Yeah.
That it's almost got to run its course to where.
Well, basically, they got to die off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've got, or at least.
It's sad that's got to happen, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Because, and the fact now, Muirfield's not going to hold an Open Championship.
Well, that was the RNA statement.
They can't.
RNA came out roughly within 30 minutes of the quote-unquote leak of the vote. And the RNA came out with a statement that Golf Channel had produced this morning. And basically, I'll surmise if you haven't already read or heard it, but basically the RNA says, okay, it's a shame that this occurred. Muirfield has first-line history. They are a main vein and artery of our organization. Mm-hmm. However, because of this vote that was taken today and the general opinion of a particular sector of Muirfield not wanting women membership, then we no longer can include them into the Open Championship
rotation.
The rotation.
And the thing is, like they said, women are welcome there as guests. They said there were women playing golf there today. They just voted that they can't become full members. And can you imagine if the RNA didn't uphold that with what their statement, the backlash that would have hit them would just have been devastating.
Yeah. That's true. The RNA is not going to do that, especially now. It's like Charlie Reimer made the comment this morning, Hugh, that interestingly, 2012, of course, is when Augusta National passed a vote that allowed women members, and they are doing just fine. It hasn't fallen apart. The building hasn't fallen in. The golf course hasn't grown over. So obviously it wasn't devastating to them. No. And so it wouldn't be devastating to Muirfield either. So I find it kind of interesting in the fact, Hugh, and this could be an argument, but I don't think it's an argument. I think you and I are both on the same side on this matter, but you know, golf is sitting here. It's several billion-dollar business worldwide. It employs hundreds of thousands of people. It is a cultural sport to where, you know, different than racing. Let's say I can't go get in an Indy car and drive an Indy car. I can't go do this. As a spectator sport, I have to just think what that may be like. Some other sports, I can't go out and play NFL football, American football as it's referred to. But golf is a sport that you can participate in every day, and thus your relationship to the professional side of the industry is somewhat easier to understand, to relate to, and to kind of daydream about. So golf is doing everything it can right now because we've seen a decline in rounds, we've seen a decline in revenue flow, we've seen a decline in golf courses, and a lot of that was contributed to the different economic packages that are in the different regions of the world, whether it be U.S., Japan, it didn't matter. So goes the economics, the stock market, housing markets, whatever it may be, so goes the recreational sports. And golf has fallen and continues to fall into that spectrum. However, to get to my point, we have been drilled into our heads by the R&A and the PGA and the USGA over the last 3, 4, 7 years. If you, depending on what different components you look at that's been introduced, foot golf, you know, whatever. Bring more people to the game. And here's Muirfield, a long-standing main artery in this industry. One of the oldest historic courses in the world. And they come right out in 2016 and say, look, we're just not going to allow women members.
Yeah. And you go.
Is this a setback?
It's a huge setback for the R&A and their opportunities and their initiatives to try to grow the game of golf.
Can you imagine the embarrassment?
I imagine the statement this morning had to be the hardest thing they ever produced because of the embarrassment of it. But again, if they hadn't have done it, the backlash from the different organizations would have been devastating for them. I mean, they could have really caused an issue.
Do you think Muirfield doesn't care whether they hold the Open or not?
They don't. But like they said in these articles, it's the older members that they don't care. They're not worried about what other people think.
Well, that's a presumption, too, because I imagine they don't individually know how each member voted. They could
may
be.
Not. May not.
They
could. May. And they may.
So that's just an assumption that the older members voted no and the younger members voted yes. And that's an assumption.
And, George, I'm going to throw this out there. And you know, being fortunate enough on Sunday to go over and play at Shoal Creek. You know, they're going to tear up their greens here in the next week or so and rebuild them and get them so that when I think it's the U.S. Women's Am or maybe the U.S. Women's Open, something's coming in there that's a women's tournament in the next year. But you realize that Condoleezza Rice is a member at Augusta National and she's a member at Shoal Creek. After all the backlash with Shoal Creek many years ago.
Oh, many years
ago.
Yeah.
But all of that, a southern golf course like that went through that lady's a member and she's there a lot. And that just shows how not only America, but the South has changed their views about all of this. If we can do this, why can't the people in the UK? I mean, because that is where the golf started.
Okay,
that's
that brings
the home of golf. This brings up a great statement.
Here we go. Yeah, good. So this brings me back to a question I have then. Was this more of a Muirfield against the R&A?
Good question. Really good question. Or, you know, it's You're not going to tell us.
This wasn't a gender-related issue. I would imagine the RNA had sent down many lobbyists knowing that this vote was on the ballot, knowing that this vote was on the agenda. I would imagine there was some significant lobbying going on to make sure that the RNA didn't have to put up with the embarrassment of grow golf now, golf first, get more people to golf, all these other programs that's been implemented over the last several years through different avenues, venues, tournaments, whatever it may be, foundations.
Yeah.
And then Muirfield sits there and goes, you know what? There's a select group, and probably elders, who knows? But there's a select group, and then Muirfield says, you know what, RNA? You don't control our ass. We basically started you. What makes you think you can come down here and tell us what to do?
And I think that's exactly what happened. I think you've hit the nail on the head, without a question.
They didn't care about the fallout from, U.S. media, worldwide media, AP, UPI, whatever it may be. They didn't care about that. They were sitting there telling the people that they probably lost businesses to, or sold businesses to, or lost in a golf match at the RNA, that may be part of Prestwick, or could be part of Ballybunion, or could be part of Troon. They could be a part of anything. And they just basically said, look, you're not going to come in here and tell us what we do with our club.
Yeah.
If we want to be a men's-only club, we're going to be a men's-only club. And who cares if we're the last one on the face of the earth? We're going to do what we want to do. This is our club.
Yeah.
And you just kind of wonder if that was the driving force behind this vote. Now, the media is going to put the spin on, oh, you don't like women, you don't want women, no. And you corrected that right off the bat in your comments. It says there's ladies out there playing today.
Yeah.
As guests.
As guests.
And,
but again, what they've done is they've cut their nose off to spite their face simply because they're not allowing women to be members. So there won't be an open championship there, which is the event in the UK in golf.
Well, interestingly, you reporting the numbers and it being as strong as it was, I mean, obviously there was a 1 to 2 vote separation of this thing being approved versus being disapproved. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we don't know the exact numbers, but let's just assume it was that close. Say 60% to 40% or 65 to 35. Whatever it may be, they didn't get a simple majority, okay, a 2/3 vote.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were just a couple off. There's nothing to say that next year this comes back on the agenda and the ballot and it not be voted in then.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to – we just had the Open at Muirfield. Phil Mickelson won it.
Yes.
3 years ago. So it was going to be several years before this came back around. Even a possibility of getting back on the schedule.
Yeah.
Getting back on the what'd you call it earlier? The rotation.
The rotation.
Okay. So maybe it takes another year, 2 or 3 people die off, or, 2 or 3 people, join and the majority flip back over.
Here's the numbers. 616 votes tallied. 397 votes, 64% voted to allow females. 219, which is 36%, voted no.
Okay. They missed the simple majority by 2.
Yep.
Okay. So, again, that's 2 percentage points. So that would probably equate out to about 14 votes.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, this could easily come back up next year. They approve it, and then this not be an issue
from the
anymore.
backlash from this, I guarantee you there will be another vote.
Oh, yeah.
There will be another vote.
I would imagine it's going to be every year.
Yeah. There's going to be another vote.
Because I guarantee you, now, unless, and we've heard this, and you know this better than I do, I'm just an amateur golfer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a 15 handicapper loving the game. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you know of golf clubs that had hosted tournament events in the past, whether it be PGA Tour, Web.com, LPGA, didn't matter, and they don't want them back.
Butler National.
Okay.
Chicago,
okay,
where the Western Open was played.
Mm-hmm.
The reason they went to Cog Hill was because Butler did not allow women to be members, did not allow women in the in the clubhouse.
Okay. And we've known of other clubs to be like that.
And that's when and a fantastic golf course.
Mm-hmm.
But women weren't allowed. Like my ex-wife, my wife at the time, she couldn't go in the clubhouse to go to the bathroom. She had to go use a portalet.
Right.
Women aren't going to do that.
Right.
You know how much that caused of a problem?
Oh, I imagine. I'm actually getting on the side of maybe Muirfield's saying, look, it cost us this amount of money to hold this event. They come in here and tell us, like the USGA and the PGA does, you have to do this to your golf course, you have to do this to your golf course. But I can't imagine them wanting to break the historic chain because that's how the R&A lives. But maybe the members just go, look, we like the way things are. We don't need the disruption of the Open Championship here.
Well, I don't think it's the disruption of the Open. I think that they enjoy the fame and the fortune that comes with it because they make a lot of money off the Open Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it got to the point, I think you hit the nail on the head in your first statement. You're not going to come in here and tell us what we can and can't do.
All right.
I think it's an ego thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've done this for hundreds of years, and now you're going to tell us, if
to be politically correct, we have to do something totally opposite.
Exactly. Absolutely. So I don't know, George. I mean, it's just going to be one of those things. We're going to have to see how it plays out.
Well, I agree that with the general decision, I agree with the R&A. Immediately put a spanking out there. You're not going to get the Open Championship. And as long as you have this type of restricted membership format, we're not even going to consider you. We won't even put you on the rotation. Perfectly said. Well done. I was impressed with how quickly they came out with the response. I mean, once the word leaked about the vote, literally 30 minutes later, the R&A had put an official comment.
I imagine there's a lot of panic running through there.
And Tim Fincham and the PGA Tour will make a comment soon. I imagine they'll make a comment. The LPGA will make a comment. So it'll be the trickle down.
Yeah.
But kudos to the R&A for being Johnny on the spot and jumping right out there and saying, okay, you want to play this little silly game, then fine. We just won't consider you to be an open site in the future.
So I want to add something if I can. All right.
Can you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Not exactly. It doesn't have anything to do with women in golf, but you guys have met my friends from Switzerland. Beatus from Germany, and Patrick is from the Jersey Islands, Englishman, and they're members of a club in near Zurich in Switzerland. Played with them the other day, and I had my Bluetooth speaker going on the golf course. They could not believe that I was listening to music on the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I said, you mean you couldn't do that at your club? Absolutely not. That would not happen. But by the end of the round, I didn't turn it off. I turned it down out of respect when I was near them. And Beata said, I actually enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same kind of progression to make golf fun, I think, that we need to take. I mean, this is the ultimate. I mean, it's the ultimate to grow the game. To try to keep women out of the club is just unacceptable in today's world, period.
It is, and it's like, we talked about the whole millennial thing, Jeff.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the Bluetooth speaker thing. I mean, it's constant. You hear it all the time at golf courses. And, people, the way we raise our children, we've had to change.
Yep.
I mean, there's no more spankings, there's no, it's take, time out and this, that, and yeah. In golf, it's kind of the same thing. You've got to cater to what the modern younger person wants. And if you don't, you're going to lose that business and that person in the game of golf. And be honest with you, there's nothing better than hitting balls. You'll find me out there with my phone in my pocket, my earbuds in. I'm listening to music, practicing.
Yep.
Now I'm thinking about what I'm doing, but I got something that kind of keeps my mind from racing. And, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that, I think you won't see it during tournaments, obviously. But,
No.
I mean, for the average player and the members of a club, what's wrong with it?
Well, and here's the analogy I gave them. We were playing Fazio, which runs right along 31.
Yeah.
I said, so you'd rather hear that traffic noise than music?
Oh, that's pretty good.
I mean, we build golf courses next to roads
Yeah.
where there's sound.
Or trains. You go to Scotland, I mean, you tee off at Prestwick on the first hole, and you're in the middle of your backswing on the first tee, and there's a train comes screaming by that scares the bejesus out of you.
And blows the horn at the most opportune time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not, a lot of this stuff doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
Well,
In today's world.
Yeah, but, again, the game of golf was established hundreds of years ago. The rules of golf, actually Muirfield, of course, the Honorable Edinburgh Gentlemen's Club, if you want to refer to it, they made the first set of rules for the game of golf.
Yeah.
And, it's – I don't know. I don't know whether they see it as maintaining tradition, maintaining the historic aspects of what Muirfield is and stands for. Who knows? So this decision was made. I think it's a shortfall decision. I think it'll reverse itself literally within probably a year.
If it lasts that long.
Well,
I think after the backlash from all of this, I think this will change.
But you know what? A week from now, we won't be talking about it. We won't even remember it. And that's our drive-up society right now.
I'm sorry about your age, bud, but some of us still remember.
I got it.
Okay? It's okay.
Okay, let's get out of here. I think we both agree that it was a dumb decision and they should have just went ahead and got with the times. So
if you want to make it really tough, if you have a problem with it, George, and this is really going to be bad, and I apologize, ladies, but if it's that big of an issue, say, okay, women can be members. Here's what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
Put the price up there to where if they want to pay it, you're making some money.
Then you got a lawsuit, though, because if you're charging women more than men.
No, you charge everybody the same thing.
Yeah.
But you just raise the price to get in it. Make it that more exclusive. I mean, that's
well, then I'll sue your ass.
Exactly.
So, but whatever.
I'm down. Okay. Just an idea.
I got you. But look at it, bud. I mean, if they take the aspects with women members, see, you got me going here. Damn it. I wasn't going to do this.
I'm good at this, aren't I, Jeff?
Hold on.
I can wind him up.
If you got this attitude about women members at Muirfield, then why didn't you take this same historic, staunchy, up-nose, snot, feeling about technology? Records being set at Muirfield at 25 under par for the Open Championship because technology in the ball has gotten so damn good and these guys are so good and You want to sit there and protect the rights of your golf course and you do that through not allowing women to be members? Come on, dude. There's other things in the game that needs to be looked at.
I agree with you 100%. You're not going to get an argument out of me. You are dead right.
Okay. All right. Moving on. I want to thank everybody for joining us at the round table here on TGD Today. Don't go anywhere. There's a lot more golf news and information coming up next.